Hey, bro.
Hey, bro,
Another QOC production.
what it do? Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say, hey. Hey, bro.
Moving forward from there. So
Hey,
that's what brought this
bro,
whole partnership
say,
moving forward.
let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
But it's
bro,
funny because he felt.
say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro, say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro, say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man, we talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother, we ride to the end. Back to a position where we live.
Well, you know what? All right, we'll remove it for now. We'll have to replay it. Yo,
Yeah, it's all good.
leave it
What's
up
happening,
to.
brother?
Yeah, what's
What's up,
going
sir?
on, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm excited, brother. I feel good. I feel great. All of that phenomenal stuff, man. What's good, man? How you feeling, brother?
I'm doing much better. I'm doing much better this week. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling poised. I'm feeling positioned. I'm feeling
Love it.
fearless.
That's a good thing, bro. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
I'm
I like
feeling
that.
fearless. And
Yeah.
it's first of all, let's do the housekeeping stuff. This is the A Bro Show. It's your boy Conrad and Coach Chris tapping in with you here tonight. And you know, as you got to do, as you're tapping in with us, make sure to adjust your crown, tilt your
Hmm.
seats, get your tea, get your coffee, because we're
Hmm.
going to be diving deep tonight, picking up from where we left off last week. That felt kind of weird a little bit to say that because usually we use the first of the month.
I know, right, bro? It was so good last week. I'm like, yo, we got to run it back.
Oh,
Like, we
for
got to get
sure.
to it, man. Yes, sir, man. And
For
my brother,
sure.
he's on it. Like you said, man, listen, you guys get the likes up, get the shares up. This is about to be a phenomenal conversation, man. Brothers is building. I do believe we got some of the family members strolling on in, if I'm not mistaken, man. So it's gonna be a good piece tonight, man. I'm excited, bro.
Oh no, for sure, for sure, for sure. Big shout out. I'm gonna actually shout out one of our family. Where is he at? Mr. M3 Knowledge and Relationships,
Mhm.
and he came through. He says salute to the podcast. Thank you, brother, for coming through. We had to make sure we got you shouted out, and man. I actually went back and we're gonna make sure to get a couple of the clips out from last week, and I kind of want to pick up right through here because I didn't realize you said something and I didn't realize it hit me until it hit me.
It be that
So
way sometimes.
you know what I mean,
Yeah,
bro?
it
You
happens like
said
that.
it is it, and it, you didn't say completely, but you were alluding to the fact that it is fair. It's fair game if a woman questions a man's character because of the crowd around him. And so, just before salute, gas mask, brother, salute to you. We gonna make sure I actually have your link. So as soon as I'm able to get little man here to fall asleep, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch views and switch positions, and I'm gonna get to the other room so we can drop your link and get everybody to subscribe to you and share that love, brother. Gas mask, definitely faithful, brother. Thank you for coming through, man. We much love to you. And as everybody comes in, just shout out where you're from and where you're at so we can shout you out. Make sure to hit the like and the subscribe to the QOC network. Don't even worry about me right now. It's not about the real. It's about us as brothers coming to build over here on the A Bro Show on the QOC network. And if you didn't hear the introduction again, as my brother said, make sure, yeah, gas mask. Get the likes, share, subscribe. And man, I'm so blessed to be around Coach Chris. Coach Chris and his words that hit me all week. I've been sitting there going back and forth with the clip, and y'all might have missed it last week. And if you did, we had one point in the conversation where we were talking about salute. Oh man, Chris, I don't know if you know, you might know. Yeah, we got some family that came through tonight. The Dating
Oh
Reset
yeah, those my
podcast.
peoples right
Yeah.
there. Oh, that's family right
Yep.
there, man. Shout out to
Yep.
them. Shout out
Salute
to
to
them. I love
family.
it. I
Boston
love it.
MA in the house. Salute. They had a wonderful show earlier. I was able to tap in and just really take it in. And it's a beautiful show dealing with dealing with the effects of sex trafficking. I know YouTube is very specific on what you words you use, so
Yeah,
trying to choose my words
yeah,
carefully, but
yeah.
definitely is necessary. These are necessary conversations and things that are going on in our community. And man, if the government's going to brush it under the rug, I know that's one thing that we won't do. And so
Hmm.
if y'all be so kind, make sure you go and find Dating Reset Podcast. They are on YouTube and Facebook, and we will be sure to continue to support them as they support us back. And like Coach Chris said, that is family.
Yeah,
So
bro.
yeah.
Phenomenal podcasting, man. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
No, oh, bro, hey, don't make me hog the mic, eh? We gotta get this
No, no,
tennis
no.
thing
You about
going.
to
We
ask
haven't
something,
worked
bro.
out
It's just
tennis
that we
yet.
got, we got family coming in, and it's like, yo, we show them love, and it just happens naturally. But no, you was about to ask the
Oh,
question, bro.
jeez, I was, but then more family just started coming in. So salute. It's a family affair tonight. Salute to Queen Melissa. Oh man, I almost said hallelujah. Thank you for coming through. Much love to you for being here tonight. We appreciate you. Much love to you, and we definitely got to get over to her. And I know, you know what? I'm gonna say her name because I know she gonna pop up. I know she gonna pop up. Chocolate Earth Foundation, wherever she is, whenever I see her.
Hmm.
Shout out to you.
Hmm.
Salute to you. Much love to you for coming through. And as we go through the conversation, anybody that's watching, if you want us to drop the link based on where we are in that conversation, let us know. Yes, hallelujah indeed. Yeah, I like how she put that. Hallelujah indeed. Most definitely. Most definitely. And dating reset say, yeah, thanks for the shout out. Much love to you. Of course, it is a family affair. And if we don't, hey, if family doesn't put family first, then who's gonna do it? Who is gonna do it? All right, so I think that might be all the family for right now. So let's get through to this question. Okay, bro. So you said it is fair game, and it's fair for men to be judged if we aren't judging ourselves or judging the characters of the company that we're keeping. Dive a little bit
Yeah.
more into that.
No, no, no. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was you. You asked me a question. You posed a
Yeah,
question to me, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah. You know, it's. I mean, it's fair game for a woman to ask. You know, the question. You know about the question that individual brother
hmm
about the men that he's hanging around. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it is fair game because I've seen it happen with myself, with some close homies of mine, some brothers of mine, genuine good dudes, great spirit, all of that good stuff. But because he's hanging around, you know, his homeboys, his collective group of homeboys, these other homeboys, now you have other women looking at him crazy because they know how the other homeboys get down. So it's like, okay, you're with them. So you gotta be just like them. That's fair right there, man, because I mean that's human nature. Because we look and we see, we're looking at a certain individual, you know, branding and hanging around a group of people that has a bad reputation. So I'm like, if you hanging around people that got a bad reputation, I'm on the outside looking in, you on the inside. So I know you see these dudes cutting up. And although it's your homeboy, although
Yeah,
you vouch for him and you look out for him and stuff like that, it's like, yo, you know they got bad behavior. You know they got a bad spirit. So what you hanging around for? And if you all around them, more than likely you probably got a bad spirit as well. But come to find out, there are some men that they grew up with them, since since they were little kids. So they consider them, they're just homies. That's family now. But it is for a game for a woman to ask, question a man and question a man's character. It's like, okay, you hanging around individuals who have bad behavior. So you have bad behavior too until you show something different. And it be that way sometimes.
no, that's facts, and I can agree with that to an extent. I've been stuck in that route before. And I mean, you see, the thing is that we don't share, or we don't get the time to share. Is that in some cases it's not necessarily a catch-22, but it is a dividing in the
Mhm.
road, right? Because you know that you can't make your boys, you know, as much as they're your peoples, they might have been your A1 since day one, but now here comes that time for life maturity, and where your purpose comes into effect. And you might not exactly know what it is, man or woman, but there's the division in the road, and it's hard. And you got to kind of sit back before you go left or right, before you have some of those hard conversations. You got to sit down with you. I sincerely believe this, and say to yourself, okay, th- I have two roads before me. One, which road am I going to take? And two, have I taken care of home enough that no matter which road I go, I personally won't regret it? And I
Mhm.
think that might be a question in the time that we feel sometimes so pressured to make that decision in the moment, and to make the right decision, that either we don't have the conversation to say, hey, this is the road before me. And it's not that I don't want to take you with me, but I also can't force you to change so that I can be
Right.
happy taking you with me, because you might not be happy walking with me.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's
And
real.
and as you were saying about me asking you the question, I'm sitting there thinking about it, because like the one of the questions that like was in my mind, again, going through the week and then going back over the clips, which was, it's like, kind of, it's a branch to where we are right now. I just kind of wanted to start there to kind of get the wheels going. But it's
Yeah.
just like, which version of the black man is good enough? And like, this is the thing that it's been rocking my mind, right? Because
Yeah.
again, it's such in many different spaces, especially on YouTube, it's a very quiet conversation. Salute more. We got more family in the building. Thank you for coming through, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox, Mr. I almost called him M3. There's too many M's in the family. Maul's best. What's going on, baby? Much love to you, my family. Much love to you, solid brother. And I will tap in with you. I do apologize for not getting back to you this week. I will tap in with you. Thank you for even checking on me, because when I saw the notification popped up, even though I was in the midst of dealing with some business, it made me feel all right. And I really do thank you for that. So this aspect of damned if you do, damned if you don't,
Mhm.
right? It's like, and the reason why I said which version of the black man is acceptable, the reason why I want to ask this question is because there are good character traits and bad character traits on every side, right? The man that is poor, we're talking, I'm mainly talking about finance. I'm not talking about in terms of his moral compass. I'm not necessarily talking about anything to do with maybe integrity or consistency, even though we might be able to pick on some of those character traits as we walk this down. But the poor man, right? The poor black man who is not affluent, maybe underachieving in other aspects of society, what really makes him such a deterrent? And how is he really different from the average or middle class black man? What are your thoughts on that?
Brother, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can answer the question just solely based off of just the finance, man, because I feel like a
Hmm.
lot of this stuff is like interchangeable. But
Right.
just solely based off of just that question, which version of the black man is good enough? Honestly, fam, that depends on the maturity of the woman at the end of the day.
Mm.
You feel me? In her
Mm.
20s, it's the thug, it's the bad boy, it's the rough around the edge dude or whatever the case may be. Now that she becomes of age, 35, 40, she's like, okay, I want the Russell Wilson. I want the church boy. I want the guy that has good manners, who is about business, who can take care of his his responsibilities, who's out here on the grind, who's making a living, stuff like that, who's not on the block hustling or whatever the case may be. But bro, to answer that question, it depends on the woman's mindset. At the end of the day, that's the only, when it comes to it, that's it. I mean, at least for me, I can't answer for everybody else, but it solely depends on the maturity of the woman, her mindset. You feel me? If she's in a certain place to where, you know, she's, you know, influenced by, you know, her environment, influenced by social media, whatever the case, she's going to go for a certain type of dude. Now, when she becomes of age and, you know, she matures, you know, she goes for the legit brother, not the not, you know, nobody else. But I'm just, that's how I view it. You know, when she matures up, when a woman matures, she's good. She goes for the right brother, certain qualities, certain traits. It's a good father. He's around, makes a great husband. The phenomenal potential is there, that type of thing like that, man. So that's how I answer that question, bro.
Yeah. Salute, salute. All right. Okay. I got you. And you know what the funny thing is? I like the way you answered that because it didn't allow me to get too far in my question. I got, bro, and I say I got some questions. And this next one, we about to go there because and shout out to AJ. I'm hoping I called the name right and not the other.
Our sister
She-
AJ.
yeah, she
Yeah,
posted
that's it.
something. She
Yeah.
posted something this week, and it made
Yeah.
me again. It hit me in my head. But let me take the time out to salute and show love to Dr. Quantum in the house. Salute to you, Queen, my sister. God bless you for being here. Thank you for being with us here tonight as we rock out. And again, ladies, we're gonna ask some questions, and I got some questions that we brothers might need you to come up and take the stage and give us your opinion
Mhm.
and bring some balance to this conversation, okay? So if we got to drop the link, just let us know. We can drop the link, okay? So as you were talking about the maturity, and I like how you answered that because it let me know. When you see when they say spirit connects with spirit and the spirit confirms all
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like how this is going, and I like that we didn't kind of preface a conversation beforehand. So I was thinking today,
Facts.
and I was thinking about Adam and Eve because as you talked about the maturity of a woman, when we look at Adam and Eve, it's a classic story out of the Bible. We look at it from the end of who did wrong. Is this Eve's fault for not listening to the rules? Is it Adam's fault for not stepping up and, knocking the fruit out of her hand or telling her that the snake is not supposed to talk? What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Classic argument. I don't think it's ever been settled since. But I was sitting down and I was thinking, and I want to pose this question to you, and I want to pose this question to the chat. Would we shame Adam if Adam's one said, instead of necessarily stepping in, grabbing her Eve and saying, Eve, that's a snake. The snake's not supposed to talk. Why you talking to the snake? Second of all, I don't care what he says about dying and not dying. God said, don't touch the fruit or we gonna die. Let's say in one parallel universe, he did that. But let's flip to the other side where he doesn't do that, but he says, God, how you gonna send me something so beautiful only not to listen to the rules? Get rid of her. I didn't eat the fruit. She ate the fruit.
Mhm.
Get rid of her. Because what my mind goes to is preservation, right? Could Adam have preserved humanity as it relates to the outcomes of consequences in the Bible? Could Adam have preserved humanity within that context by either throwing her under the bus and saying, God, like, you gonna have to go back to the drawing board on this one because her mind ain't right?
Yeah.
What would have been more beneficial? Because now, no matter what, if he saves her and he knocks the fruit out of her hand and he boxes down the snake and he says, snake's not supposed to talk. Hey, the tree is
Mhm.
somebody's got to answer for something. So now
Mhm.
this becomes that bad company that my character can be judged for. but this is supposed to be bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. So, on one hand, what do you do when you are judged by the company you keep, and the company you keep is actually the company that you're in love with? Do you stay by said company, or do you go back to the drawing board? Does Adam go back to the God and say, "Yo, God, I didn't do nothing. She did it. Here's the proof. Why would you like? Why is she able to do this? I've been here the whole time. You didn't see me. I ain't touched the tree." So what do you think about that? Would Adam have been wrong for throwing Eve under the bus?
Bruh, you asked a loaded question. And it's a hot one too, man. Like this is hot. Okay. Um, I want to make sure I get this right, man. I want to
Hold
make
on,
sure I
hold on.
get
Let
this
me give you
right.
some time. Let me give you some time. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on. I gotta.
that was good. This is a good
I-
one.
well, bro.
Oh, that really
Yo,
wasn't no time, man. I was more so laughing at that than focusing on the question.
I know. I had to do that. I had to give you a little bit of a
Yeah,
little bit of segue. Let me repeat the
yeah.
question. Let me get this out. I'm gonna give you some more time to think about this. Chat, hear me and hear me well. Okay.
Mm,
This is your brother talking. I ain't mean to cause dissension. If anybody's mad at us right now, leave Chris out of it. This is my fault. This is my thinking. Adam, and I want to give Chris time to think about this because this question still got to get answered. The context of the story is the woman takes the fruit after a conversation with a serpent that is not supposed to talk. And the scripture records that Adam was with her. Okay? Now, Adam being with her while she's taking while she's taking this fruit, having this conversation with a person or a thing that is not supposed to be talking. As a man, we would already say strike one. She's talking to another man that ain't supposed to be talking to her. But would Adam, here's a question now, would Adam be wrong for not keeping tainted company around him and going back to God and saying, God, this ain't it? Because the same rules you gave me that I was able to follow is the same rules you gave her that she should be able to follow. A, can you remove her, please? Can you remove her from the garden? Can we Thanos her, please?
yeah.
Would Adam be wrong for going back to God and saying, God, because remember, Adam don't have no business in creating Eve. Adam never went back to God and said, God, hey, I need like God, you are a friend that sits closer than a brother. You with me in
Mm,
the morning when I'm getting ready to go to work. You're with me at night when I come home from work. But I need something to hold on to. God was the one that looked on Adam and said, man, as much as I love talking to you, it is not good for man to be alone. And
yeah.
cause a deep sleep to fall on Adam and performs the first surgery or separating. And when Adam wakes up, this physical pulchritude is so splendiferous. I'm in my preacher mode. Is so splendiferous, so greatly grandiloquent with the light of God shining on her, is beauty of beauties. So much now that the company of her takes him away from having a view of God as first voice, to the point where he sits and watches her. Now, if he catches himself, says, whoa, 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 she's not supposed to eat the fruit, but that serpent is not supposed to talk. There's two strikes. Forget this. I'm out. God, come
Mm.
get her. Would Adam be wrong?
I like it. No, no, no. I like it. No, because see, and listen, bro, we're in this together. So listen, if they mad at you, they're gonna be mad at me. So it's all to the good.
Hey,
And I
we
feel
here.
like when we talk, yeah, man, we in this thing together. That's brotherhood right there, bro. Bro, I feel like when we talk about certain Bible stories, scriptures, passages, and things like that, it's just the end all be all. So when you start talking like what ifs, you know what I mean? Like people get, people it catches folk off guard. But I like it though. First and foremost, just the original story. Adam's only or main issue when all of that took place is that he hid from God. That was it. Like he did not approach God when God was looking for him. He did
Mhm.
what she did, but the thing with Adam is that my man, he ran away. Like he hid from God when God was looking for him. But bro, when you broke the question down repeatedly and you used the word please, Adam was like, God, please, can I have another one? Can we do away with this one? Two strikes. Can we do away with this one? And can I get another one? Let's go back to the drawing board. No, he's not wrong. And we gotta normalize these things, man. Sometimes we get it wrong.
Mhm.
We're not talking about God, but we're talking about, us.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, we talking about us. We get it wrong. And we live in a world where we feel like, dang, I got it wrong. I just need to ride it out all the way through. Whether it's, me being mad, me being miserable, my health is failing X, Y, and Z. No,
Mhm.
man, it's okay to go back to the drawing board, especially when you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strikes. You feel me? And you look at, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it's like, you know what? This ain't it. You feel me? Like, God,
Yeah.
hold on real quick. We drawing board. Let's do
Yep.
this thing again. Let's hit the reset button. Now we need to normalize hitting reset buttons. We need to normalize
Mm.
going back to the drawing board and like, okay, we got this wrong. You
Right.
feel me? And we need
Right.
to get it right. We got to get you, yeah, bro. And even when you love someone, every, not the throw this curveball like multiple ways or whatever. But yeah, even when you love somebody and you genuinely trying to like, you two going to the drawing board and like fix a thing or whatever, that's
Yep.
cool too. Everybody's situation is different. I don't want to, come off as far as like, oh man, Coach Chris said, get a divorce or whatever. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you need to process your situation.
Yeah.
And if your situation is like, yo, I need to go back to the drawing board and hit a reset button. You feel me? Or if your situation is saying me and my spouse or this person that I love, friend or whatever, we need to go to the drawing board and we need to
Mhm.
get this thing right. But yeah, now to just sum it all up now, Adam is not wrong for wanting to go to God and be like, yo, this chick is tripping. We need to hit the reset button because we got paradise behind
Yeah.
us. You feel me? And we got so many multiple generations that are that are that are hanging in the balance of the way we do things now. We setting the
Mhm.
tone. And this
Yep.
chick is tripping. God, I need another woman. So no, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so now this is beautiful. Let's build on this. Now, the reason why I made sure I wanted to break that down, especially for the listeners, in terms of how I was going to phrase the question, is because it identifies the characters of all three parties. Now, we're going to eliminate the snake because we know the serpent shouldn't have been able to talk. So we understand again, and if we're not understanding why we're easily dismissing that for the viewers, the reason why we're easily dismissing that is because it is likened. And ladies, when brothers say, I'm not convinced that your male friend is just your male friend and he ain't trying to do something more, let's put this into context. Your man is Adam, you are Eve, and your male friend might be the serpent.
Yeah, that's good, man.
And he might have some way of twisting my words in your ear. You may have been, well, my man said this. And your friend might come to you and be like, well, yeah, but your man never said this in while he was
Mm,
saying that. And now he's got you thinking. And this is the problem with it because the minute, it doesn't mean that you have to act, but the minute you start to think, we got a problem. So I just want to put that out there. There's a little bit of, take it back to your tables, your own homes. chop it up. But here's another thing, right? As we talk about which version of a black man is acceptable, we agree that we want to get away from finance because finance is an aspect, but it doesn't make a man the man.
Mhm.
It can get him into some rooms, it can get him into some tables, but it won't make him the man. Okay. So if that be the case, then what is the other thing about Adam that we can relay or correlate to which version of a black man is is acceptable? And then we have to look at character, because if we are leaders as men, then we would have to understand that even if our lady gets mad at us, because remember I posed the other side of the question is what if he had drawn Eve away and reprimanded her, slapped the fruit out of her hand, kicked down the serpent, and drew her away and be like, yo girl, what are you doing? You better hope that we can actually fix this, and us touching the fruit was not enough to get us kicked out of paradise. Now he's got to systematically think of what were the rules of every tree you may freely eat of this garden, but the tree that sits in the midst of the garden, the tree of good and evil, of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat, for in the day that thou eat, thou shalt surely die. Okay, if he's a thinking man and he's like me, then I'm gonna be like, I did not eat the fruit. I'm willing to accept any punishment that comes because I can still stay here and live because I didn't eat the fruit. She didn't, I got to her just in time. And just like the marriage vow said, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. So, God, I'm not going to leave her out to dry. But here's where I wanted to point on the character, because before we get to the eating, the scripture records, and Adam was with her. And this is why I pose the question is sometimes the people that we love the most, we really have to sit and, like you said, hit a reset button and assess. Now, is that aspect of the man, and I'm going to take it off of Adam individually and broaden this question for you, Chris. Is the aspect of a man in his ability to oversee and be a consistent leader, which means providing a aspect of rebuke, and I choose to use the word because I want people to be at odds with this.
Mhm.
Is it for him to show consistency in his leadership that at a time when he has to rebuke, it can be taken with all seriousness and gravity? Is that the aspect of the of a man, and specifically black men? Do we show enough consistency in the leadership qualities where we are proactive rather than being like Adam and being there in the midst of a situation and being reactive? Is that the separation of the man that women choose not to, well, they one will choose to associate or brush everybody under and then disassociate from? That aspect of, I'm here around the situation, but I'm not taking action. Is that lack of proactiveness what women are finding, uh I don't want to say unworthy, but not approvable?
The lack of being proactive,
Mhm.
it can play a
Lack
factor,
of
bro.
sorry, lack of being proactive and lack of consistency.
Lack of consistency. Yeah, now both of those can play a huge factor in that, as far as like, the man's leadership, being in question, or, not being followed or whatever, because who wants to be around someone who's inconsistent? You feel me? And like, I mean, it's the A Bro show, and we do got to keep it real. And I wouldn't be a consistent leader. I wouldn't be a leader if I was to get up here and say like, yo, I don't care. This is your man. Even if he's inconsistent, you need to follow him and follow his rules and do whatever it is that he's. No, bro. You got to be consistent. If anything, I get the proactive piece. That's part of it, man. But that consistency, you do have to be consistent in the things that you do. And even for me, man, marriage or, whatever the case, in my 20s and early 30s, bro, I was an inconsistent leader or inconsistent husband. So it's like, nah, my wife can't follow someone who's inconsistent. You feel me? But when you become of age and when you become, mature and you're growing within seasons, you're growing in, being the husband, being the father, being the man, and you're displaying that consistency, yeah, then that's when things is like, it still doesn't give you a right to beat your chest and be like, yo, follow me, don't go into no dictator role. But I feel like your leadership should be supported. You feel me? The things that you say, the things that you think, you know what I mean? You have especially if you have a relationship with God, the stuff that you're, showing your families like, yo, we need to go in this direction. And if it's still being bucked up against, if it's still being questioned, or if it's still being, dismissed, then that's the issue. That falls on the woman there. But if you're showing consistency as far as like leadership, bro, especially on multiple cylinders within a relationship, nah, you good. Like your leadership shouldn't even be questioned, because consistency is just a huge, major, powerful piece. And when we see somebody that's consistent, it's like, yo, that's clutch right there. Now, if the person is bucking up against that, that has more so to do with them, their ego, their bad attitude, their negative spirit. If they're like bucking up against leadership that's consistent, nah, that's more so that's a them thing, and less of a you thing, man.
Right, right. I got you. Um, the reason and the reason why like I'm asking these questions, not because I don't have anything to add in, but it's just where my mind was, because it really, when I was again, when I was playing back the clips, it was just like, okay. And if you have if you can get the picture that you sent in the group chat about the 100 men going through the course to be better dads, uh see if you can pop that up to share the screen or whatever. I want to try and get that in.
Oh yeah, that was dope. I don't think I can get that in, bro.
Yeah, because StreamYard was bugging with the video. They wouldn't let me. They kept saying it wasn't in the
Yeah,
right format, and I didn't have time to change it into MP4. But
nah,
I mean,
say
with the
less.
way this conversation's going, man, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a part three on this, and we wanted to get the ladies up, so we'll forward that. But
Yeah, we could say
this
that
is
for part
something.
two. We could say that we can save that one for part three, especially if we're gonna have women on, because that
Yeah.
really bruh, that bothered my spirit, man. Go ahead,
hmm
bro. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, no. You didn't. You was right in there, because, like, again, when we talk about this aspect of damned if you do, going back to the title and then extrapolating from there, like which version of the black man is acceptable. Now, I kind of want to forward. Do we should a man or should men believe? Actually, man, I know the question I want to ask, and it's kind of hard, but it's not hard.
I get you.
Why have men, why do you think men have believed that as long as I do the work, even in the midst of turbulent times, if I can get to a place where I can do the work, I can change the situation? Why do more men believe that than women?
What situation? Break that down again.
Let's
Do the
say
work.
let's say it's in the confines of a relationship, right? And when I think about this, I'm thinking of the man who um
Mhm.
is working hard. He's climbing the ladder, but he's trying to make sure he finds that balance in dealing with his wife, individually dealing with the family, individually being there for the children, being an active parent. He's trying to find the balance in all this. He hasn't been consistent and been balanced in all this, but he's trying to work on this. As he makes progresses to work on this, for him, he's happy. He's seeing a little light break through the dark clouds, because he knows he's making progress, right? He knows he's changing the ship. But in him seeing that firsthand, it's like the man can believe. that things will get better in the relationship, while systematically a woman can be like, nah, these changes are great, but they're really too late. Why is it that when we as men make changes, we see it as it should right the ship, but women see it as, or can see it as, not all the time, but they can see it as too little, too late?
That is a hard question, but
Mm,
it's not hard. And it's almost like, bro, you kind of answered while you was talking. You pretty much like you kind of sort of answered the question while you answered the question while asking the question. It's kind of weird,
mm,
but I mean, that's just the human element, and it just is what it is, man. I'm like, you go back to the consist everything that, bro, every question that you've asked, we kind of built up to this moment.
right.
Um, yeah, I listen, and I get it. You know, it's the human element, bro. You can go 5 years of being just straight trash, and then that 6th year, you wake up and you're like, you know what? I need to get my life together. I need to get this marriage, corrected. I need to be a better father, better husband, whatever. Whoop de whoop. That's you on your end. But for your spouse on her end, is like those 5 years, although you going through whatever it is that you're going through, them 5 years been pure hell for her. And now it's year 6, and she's like, yo, I'm ready to move on. Although I see,
Mm,
in that 6th year, I see you making strides. You like your, potential is kind of like, growing. I see these things,
mm,
but I'm like, yo, she'd probably be like, yo, this it's that's not enough. Like it is a little too late. And honestly, bro, I'm like, when I talk, when I'm asked questions like this, I kind of like I like to put myself in the shoes of the individual, both on both ends. And I'm like, someone putting me through hell for 5 years, and they're coming to me on year 6. And I'm like, I get it. I applaud you. Like, yo, that's what's up. Like, you making strides, you're doing better. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm burnt out right now, and I can't see myself hanging for another 7 or 8 years. But bro, this is when grace comes in. At the end of the day, this is when
mm,
grace comes in. This is when real, genuine, well, I say maybe a whole new level of love. This is when genuine love comes in. Love and grace, bro. These are the types of things that see you through year 6, through year 7, year 8,
mm-hmm.
or whatever. Although this person has acted a complete, excuse my language, ass in the
Yeah.
first 5 years, is like, yo, yeah, you okay, babe. I see you, you you doing your thing. Year 6, okay, good stuff. Year 7, we growing, we doing some things, you know what I mean? We cleaning the house, we getting rid of the negativity, we getting rid of the bad players, we bringing in the right players. I'm like, okay, year 8, boom, championship time. Okay, I see us. We didn't, we started at the bottom. Now we made the playoffs, got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now, next year, next season, okay, then we got to the conference finals. Okay. I see the progress. And now, it's like year 7, year 8, and we winning the championship. Bro, it comes down to grace, man, and just being steadfast, bro. And you got to see that thing through. It's a hard question, but at the same time, it's not hard. I mean, it boils down to the person, bro. Um, I mean, and it is a cautionary tale that's like, we take people for granted. And this is on the flip side. We take people for granted. We take time for granted. You think you have all day to, BS around when you really don't.
Yeah.
Some people not sticking around for your foolishness. Some people not sticking around, to waste time. You know what I mean? We got so much stuff to do. But anyways, I don't want to be rambling on, bro. But
No,
yes, sir.
man.
Now
No,
to
that's
answer to answer it, bro, that's pretty much it right there. And I'm hitting it from like both sides of the angle.
no, no, that's and respect just very quickly to Gas Mask,
Mhm.
showing some love. He said he liked, he subbed, and he shared it. Um, Definitely we want to thank you for that, brother. Thank you for supporting the vision. Thank you for supporting the drive. And we will be over by you. I know I haven't seen you in a long time. We haven't had the time to chop it up. Don't worry. We will definitely be over there, brother. We not just brothers in words, but we brothers in arms. So salute to you. Thank you, brother. Much love. Yes, man. Always. Man, when I tell you, hey Chris, when I tell you, and I don't know what it is in this time, and brothers, let us not, I'm not saying to not, you know what I mean, try to spirit, not to discern who you're going to have around you, whether it's virtually or physically. But in this day and time, it's like we as brothers worldwide, the internet, YouTube, Facebook, it's all done us a big favor to be able to come together and connect and be able to really connect with other brothers across the world that are not just able to say hi once in a while, but actually hold you accountable, be there to support. And so, you know, if anybody who hears this, whether it's now or on the replay, like me and Gas Mask have been able to chop it up. I've gone through certain things. He's got certain things in his life to deal with. We haven't always been able to connect and be consistent, but like we're there. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been some days when I get up and I'm just like, boom. And same thing with Chris, right?
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm some people might be like, yo, Conrad, quick to call everybody family. Man must be thirsty for family. It's not exactly that. It's just it's like the saying goes, real recognize real. And I've spent too much time, and as you just mentioned it, Chris, I've spent too much time in my life taking people and things and situations for granted. And I've lost some really great people in my life because they've been around for so long and they were like, okay, like I got to do me. It's unfortunate that we couldn't make this next turn and turn this page and actually write a book or finish the book, but like we had a good run. And I'm just like, you know what? I've had to, through growth and maturity, I've had to accept that,
Yeah.
right? I've had to accept that. I've had to learn that I
Mhm.
can't be mad when somebody does have to make a move for themselves. And that's why I asked the question about Adam, because he could have made a move for himself, even though, you know, we'll never know. We weren't there. I kind of wish he did, but he didn't. You know what I mean? But yo, he stood by his woman, and I think even in punishment for the whole human race, man.
Mhm.
But that's another story for another day. We gonna leave that for
Yeah,
part three
man.
because I'm gonna come back to
Yeah,
that. I mean, we gonna
yeah,
talk about the consequences.
yeah.
But man, I think I lost my question. I had it, and oh, you know what? I wanted to, as we're talking about, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. There was a video I came across, and I'm hoping it'll play properly. But there's a video I came across of a woman, and I remember watching it. Remember when I put it in the group chat? It was the woman where she says, "I'm
Mhm.
tired." And man,
Mhm.
like I guess I don't know if it was that day, like my heart was kind of stoned and I wasn't really trying to hear what she said
Yeah,
because I had watched it the first time and it was like she said the man was borderline
perfect.
perfect.
Mhm.
And so not being a perfect brother, I'm like, do you know how much work you got to go through for somebody, not you to call you perfect, for somebody else to, especially a
Yeah,
woman to say you perfect. So
that's
when
crazy.
I heard her say that, and that's her description, I'm sitting there like, yo, Lord have mercy upon this woman. But we gonna play it because I want to unpack this because damned if you do, damned if you don't is not just for the men; it's for the sisters as well. And I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now. I'm gonna play this video because we want to
I
talk about.
just don't think marriage is for me. And I'm tired. I'm tired of it. And I don't know what else to do because this is like imagine living a fairy tale and it's nothing like you imagined it. You're living your literal fairy tale and it's not what you want. It's not what you want. Even if you think that you want it, even if it's exactly what you dreamed of. Is marriage even worth it? It's not. It's not. At some point, you're gonna realize that it's always best to just be alone because I've been married for about 7 years, and I don't even know if this is worth it. Like, and not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong, and that's the point. Like, I don't even know why I'm upset. I'm just, like, not thinking that I made the right decision. Like, and I am a good man. I do. And that's not the point. The point is, it's like, you really do lose yourself. You lose your sense of individuality. You lose your sense of peace. And this could be even to a good man. Like, you're gonna lose something, and I don't think it's worth it. Like, at all. I've always had a dream of, like,
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I got upset all over again. Oh, it's just like
That's
what?
crazy, bro.
Oh
That's
man, I
crazy.
got upset all over again. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't even want to hear no more of this. I'm so sorry. Chat, forgive me. I got in my feelings. She done triggered the hell out of me. Um, yeah. I was almost on
Yeah.
her side until I replayed the video. Oh my goodness. Yo.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time. I'm not in the mood to play with anybody.
Bro, that's how
Yeah,
that's how she made me feel right now.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah,
let's unpack this. Let's unpack
yeah.
this for we got 9 minutes left. If you haven't got the likes up, get the likes up, please. If you got any questions for us before we close out, this clearly we're gonna do a part three because we still got to deal with 100 dads. Okay, we're not gonna let this go until we do. So if we end up getting to part six, it is what it is. And literally we right next, Chris, you do realize, like, not next week but actually, yeah, next week is the first of the month, so we back 3 weeks
Yeah, it's
back to
crazy.
back to back.
Yeah,
Like, we on
let's
a
get it.
three-peat right now, so we gonna
Yeah,
get it,
let's get it. The
y'all.
Lakers of the 2000s, boy. Kobe,
Yeah,
Shaq. Let's go.
you know what I mean. And we might kick it up a notch because I saw something in the schedule and I'm gonna ask for it. I'm not trying to put us working around the
Yeah.
clock, but
Nah, that's
we
all right.
we,
Let's go.
we talk and we'll ask for it. But okay, she said, even if it's to a good man, you lose yourself. And if anybody hasn't seen that whole video when I'm a little less triggered, we're not tonight, but we'll definitely play it because she says she got to the point where she got tired of having to consider somebody else's feelings. Now, you know, you're married, I'm married. I can admit, based on how I used to live my life before I got married, I've had to grow in understanding that I
Mhm.
must give space, time, credence, respect, and value upon the other person's feelings, or I will lose it. And not lose it as in I'll lose my mind and get angry. I mean, I will lose the comfort of their feelings. I will lose the safety of their feelings. I will lose the grace of their feelings, and I won't always get it back. So when I hear this from her, and I'm trying not to let narratives or talking points from today's spaces come into this, I really am not. But in this situation, is that young woman damned if she doesn't and damned if she does? Because now because let's take this in. She's still married. She's still married. She's let this TikTok go out. She's saying it's not worth getting married because you're going to lose a piece of yourself. And for 7 years, she's lost a piece of herself. And the piece of her that she's lost, even for a fairy tale marriage, she would
Mm.
have rathered to not be married than to have a fairy tale and lose that part of herself. Now, I can hear brothers saying, like, it's for you to secure that. You should have been secure in that long before you got married enough to be able to get married and still not lose that. How does a man who's done everything, pays the bills, come home, love you, don't hate you, listen to you, debate with you, maybe converse back and forth even when you guys disagree about thoughts and processes and feelings and all of that. He does it the right way by every other woman's metrics. And
Mhm.
you're telling me that in the midst of him being perfect by your own words, providing you a fairy tale life, which means you got the car you want, you got the house you want, you got the clothes you want, you eat the food you want, you go on the vacations you want, there's enough spending money for you, and the bills are never in arrears, even though you don't gotta ever pay them. You got life insurance, you got health insurance, you got pinky toe insurance, you got this toe, that toe, tic-tac-toe, you got it all, and you are lamenting over the piece of yourself that you lost. Is she damned if she does and damned if she doesn't? Would men still be looking at her crazy even if she had never released this TikTok?
Oh,
That's it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I
that's a
say,
straight
yeah,
up
no,
question.
yeah, no, she down for sure, man. Because with that mindset, I was about to say, bro, I'm listening to this video and I'm like, yo, she need to lay off the weed. She need to lay off the Hennessy. Anybody with that mindset, I'm like, yo, you got to chill out because I'm like, yo, bro, it confused the heck out of me because like, I'm like, it's a perfect setup. And you pretty much took my talking point, bro. This, my man. And you took and this is, bro, this is how connected and linked we are, bro, because you pretty much took my talking point. I'm like, that's up to you, especially if he's out doing everything as far as like providing or whatever. It's not, it didn't say what she had to do as far as like, upkeep in the crib or whatever. Um, but that's up to you to maintain as far as like you losing yourself. And I push this with any couple, with every couple. And you said it best. It's like, yo, give space. I'm like, if your partner, if they're creative in whatever it is that they do, photography, entertainment, music, or whatever, man, whatever hobby they do, whatever business, whatever brand, let them rock out and do that. Because when two come together, it's like, I get it. You are going to sacrifice a part of yourself, your time, your mindset, the way you think, the way you used to do things. That's automatic. That's a given. In a relationship, you're going to sacrifice some stuff, but you gotta give space for that individual to do them. You feel me? If you got something productive, you got like a hobby or whatever, you gotta let them do that. And that's how you continue to be you. You keep yourself sane. And you can bring a dope conversation or whatever back to your spouse at the end of the day because you're doing some stuff that you love. You didn't lose yourself within the marriage or relationship or whatever. No, she's down because that's all on her.
Mm.
You're in a perfect setup where a lot of women pray for, they hope for to be in that type of position. And you took to TikTok, and this is the other reason why she's down because she went to TikTok. That husband got to be
Mm.
pissed, bro, because that's an embarrassment right there, man.
Yep.
Um, and to say that you lost yourself, you losing yourself or whatever, no, that's unacceptable, man. And then to downplay marriage. And this is the other
Hmm.
thing, not to go off track, bro, but this is the other thing that pisses me off with social media and these wrong individuals that have like some type of motion or influence or whatever, these things that get spread. Marriage can be beautiful, bro.
Hmm.
Relationships can be beautiful. When you listen to ignorant people like her, bro, this is what causes so much downfall in our community because of BS like that. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
So until she fixes her mindset, she is down. And it ain't no getting out of there, bro, until her mindset gets fixed. It's too much confusion, too much selfishness at the end of the day. And man, listen, dare I say, she ain't even built for a relationship. She do need to just remain single.
Mm.
And anybody with that type of mindset, don't even get involved. Bro, don't even get involved with an individual when you got that mindset. No, shout out to Dave Chappelle. That's one of my all-time favorite, man. Him, Bernie Mac, them
Yo,
dude. That's my dude, man.
bro, there's a
Yeah,
clip I
man.
got for you next time. There's a clip. I'm glad you said what you said. And I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Anybody who knows it, it's coming right from Pop the Balloon. So if you find it, you can y'all feel free to tag QOC, the real Coach Chris and Conrad all in it because I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be
yeah.
rolling next week, bro. There's literally a bro that literally just said the same thing you just said. And if you have, I'm
My
gonna send
man.
you the video first just so you can watch it. It is
Bet, bet,
hilarious.
bet, bet.
Oh
But
my
that's it, bro.
gosh.
That's it, bro. You got the floor, man. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I mean, bro, here's the thing, and the reason why I asked the question in the beginning the way I did, and this is kind of like my final thoughts. I can understand why some men are damned if you do or damned if you don't. And I saw a post, I think it was I can't remember her name. The sister that you did the I think it was like maybe a couple weeks back. Either way, I'll tag you in it. But
Okay.
in this post it talked about basically whether or not um oh no, I asked a question. It was on I was on it was on the real page. And I asked a question and I talked about are men using the Bible to control women while not
Yeah.
adhering to the same principles and precepts that we're preaching. And in the comment, our sister, and I had nothing against what she said, but when we talk about the aspect of a man's character being ready to undergird a marriage, I had to point out one thing. And in the comment, her comment was kind of along the lines of, men want Ruth, they want a Ruth, but they're not a Boaz. And I said,
Mm,
well, there's a reason why we're not Boazes or we're not a Boaz is because Boaz didn't just wake up and become Boaz. Boaz was
mm,
groomed to be
there you go.
Boaz.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
culture that birthed him, the culture and the foundation that nurtured him and reared him and groomed him in the home, when he left the home, he did not leave the home trying to complete Boaz. He left home completed already. And I think this is why, within the context of relationships and marriage, is why we sometimes find ourselves at odds, is because we as men must admit that we might be taking stuff that we are, I don't want to say not built for, but we're not complete, like we don't have a complete understanding of.
Yeah.
I can
That's real.
admit that. I can admit that about myself. As much as
Me
that,
too.
I'll tell you all the truth. That's a
Yeah.
hit to my ego and my pride because there's nothing more than I love to do is I love to know something and I love to know how to complete something. I love to know how to do something. But when we talk about the aspect of um being having a fruitful relationship and being as a man being able to undergird a relationship, and the reason why again that my own comment about Boaz it hit me is because we have to go back to the foundation. Now, the generation that is behind us to come, like the young guys now, they can hear us speaking and they can glean some really great information of this. But to anybody that is in our age group, there is a sense of urgency where we've got to kind of stop where with this fork in the road and where we are now. We have to understand, what are we going to do? Are we going to hit the reset button? Are we going to inform somebody, especially if we're walking with people, whether it's family, friend, loved one, wife, whoever, brothers, whoever, women, the same thing for y'all is, are you going to inform the person of the roads that are before you? Because part of this being able to deal with the situation is communication and not
Mm,
being so much necessarily afraid of what somebody else's reaction is, but having enough peace in what you see before you to say, okay, hey, I acknowledge this is not going to be easy. I acknowledge this is rough. I acknowledge this sucks, but I've got two roads before me. and I'm respecting you enough to let you know that I've got two roads before me. I don't know what I'm going to choose. Because when I look at Boaz now from the man's context, we really have to remind ourselves. And men, it's a consistent every day, right? Luckily for this woman, she was able to find, Jesus Christ in the form of a black man. And I'm just going to safely assume, for the sake of conversation, she was
Yeah,
married to a
hear you.
black man. She was
Yeah.
able to find Jesus Christ in a black man. She said he was perfect. To
Mm,
God be the glory for him. That might not, it's definitely not me. You know what I mean? I know Chris, he'd never say he's perfect. And to us brothers that are here in the chat, watching behind the scenes, we're not perfect. So if by reason of that we know we're not perfect, then we understand that we got to put in the work to, and I don't know if we can ever be perfect, but we can definitely be better tomorrow than we were yesterday and continue that same vein. And that's kind of where I land my plane, is that there's going to be situations where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
I love it,
And
bro.
you're
No, that's
and
yeah.
and you're and you're gonna have to accept it.
Hmm.
That's the bitter pill about this. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you put in work too late and you're putting in the work, you're happy that you put in the work. She says, okay, it's too late. You gonna have to eat that pill and you don't like it. I understand it. And I ultimately understand. We understand. But if you want to be better tomorrow than you were today, you have to accept it. You have to grow through your going.
Mm,
And it's hard, but you need the hardness right through here. You need it to buffer you. You need it to shape you. You need it to work out inconsistency. You need it to work out, bitterness, anger, whatever flaw is in your armor, you need it to work it out. You gonna hate the process. You will. You don't want to dip your hand
yeah.
into that in that refiner. You don't want to put your hand in the fire. You don't want to put your hand in the grater. I get it. You don't want to put your mind and shit and dump off the old way of thinking because you were comfortable in it. I get it. Trust me. We know it. It's been my safe place. Chris has been there. We've all been there. But guess what? I guarantee you, if you can stand a little bit of pressure, if you can stand a little bit of pain for today, you can be a whole lot better tomorrow than you were yesterday. I guarantee you.
Hmm.
And so you might not have the outcomes today you want, but you owe it to yourself right through here
That's it.
to not be so down on yourself for all of your failures that you forget you still have time to succeed. And I land on there. Chris, what do you got?
Uh, bro, that's it right there, man. Bro, yeah, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it in the beginning, but I guarantee you said it without saying it. You're gonna hate it in the beginning, but I promise you at the end, the process, you're gonna love it. Because brothers, you got to do this thing for you, and everything else is gonna fall into place after that. The wrong people are gonna fade away when you start working on yourself, and the right people are gonna come in. And it can be the don't feel bad for hitting the reset button at the age of 35, 40, 45, 50. It's okay. Do that, and the right people are gonna come in your path, man. Bro, this was beautiful. You nailed it. That last piece, what you just said, phenomenal, man. Fellas, do it for yourself, man. Everything else is gonna come into play, man. I promise you, man. Because I'm 38 and I'm experiencing it. I had to grow into this level that I'm in now. And because I've hit the reset button on certain things, and because I had to grow in certain areas, the right individuals now are coming into play. Yeah, yeah. We love y'all, man.
That's facts.
And that's it,
That's
bro. We love
facts.
y'all,
Yeah.
bro.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with us for this last little bit. For everybody that came through, Gas Mask, Dr. Quantum, my dating and relationship, M3, everybody else. If your name was mentioned, salute to you. If your name wasn't mentioned, we love you. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this live stream. Watch it on the replay. We want to see the comments. We will respond to those comments. And we're not done. So clearly, there's going to be a part 3. Okay. There is a part 3. You know, we going to be right back here the first Thursday of every month. This Saturday, we've got In the Mix at 1:30 Central Standard Time. Make sure to tap in. Make sure to go check out Akila and the horror flicks. She was talking about the movie Hostel, and I had to admit, I wasn't watching that movie. When I saw the trailer, I wasn't watching that movie not one bit. And she's doing phenomenal work here on the
Yeah,
QOC as
yeah,
part of
bro.
the
She
network.
killing it, bro. I
Yeah,
seen that. She
yeah,
killing it.
bro. And then make sure on Sunday you get that piece of gospel, you get that word, that prayer, and that worship in you. We got our brother Quentin, one of Dallas's biggest own, and we talking about nominated, ready to
Yeah.
sing at the drop of a dime. Tap in with him. Make sure to tap in with QOC, and above all, adjust your crown. We are out. I'm Conrad. This is Coach Chris. Much love and salute to everybody. Chris,
What's
blessings
up,
to you,
bro?
brother.
Man,
Blessings to
love
you,
you, big
broski.
bro. Bless you, man. You already know. You already know.
Much love. Good night, everybody.